Welcome to the Women Lighthouse podcast, your friendly guide through all the ups and downs of life. We're here to remind you that every woman has the strength to take charge of her journey and make her dreams come true. Each week, we'll share heartwarming stories and helpful tips from amazing women who have faced their own challenges and come out stronger. Tune in, get inspired, and let's start this exciting journey towards achieving your dreams together. The Women Lighthouse, your guide to a brighter tomorrow. You're welcome to the Women Lighthouse podcast. It's great to have you tune in today. Today, we're going to be talking about the challenges that nursing working mothers face and how they can thrive. So basically, we're talking about women who basically have children under 1 year old. And today with us, we have a lovely nursing mother. Her name is Mrs. Nancy Oparugo. She's a banker and she's a first-time mom of a 4-month-old. Nancy, you are welcome to the Women Lighthouse podcast.
Thank you.
So we're glad to have you join us today. So basically what we're going to be doing today, we want to be able to throw more light into how to balance life as a full-time mother of an infant and still being able to be successful in your career. So we want you to tell us a bit about your journey as a nursing mother and also a working professional. How has life been for you since you gave birth to your child?
Honestly, I don't know where to start from, but I would say as a mother first, like there's joy in being a mother, right? So officially my journey started about 2 months ago. Like my baby is 4 months, and so it's officially started December 30th. Of course, when my maternity leave was over, right? The challenge of knowing where to keep your baby came up, right? Because I was like, I cannot take my baby to work. Do I register her in a crèche? Do I keep her at home? It was just my husband, my baby, and of course myself. Though my siblings comes around once in a while to assist, but there was a question of where do we keep this baby, right? So I would say first month wasn't easy at all. It wasn't easy because I had sleepless nights. Of course, I had to cook. I told you I had no help. So of course I had to cook. I had to take care of the baby. I have to take care of the house. Thereby I had to clean. I had to do other things. But with the help of a supportive partner, and I would say a supportive family as well, I was able to scale through. Of course, though I'm still in the process, but at least I'm able to get a balance. Or I've been able to get a balance so far.
Okay. So basically for you, now that you've resumed work from your maternity leave, what does a typical day for you look like?
I'll have to wake up early in the morning. I wake up as early as 4 o'clock. And then I have to bathe. I have to bathe my baby. I have to feed her. I have to cook, make breakfast. And then, of course, get something for the house because my husband works from home. So lunch, he has to eat lunch and then take something to the office. Then when I get to the office, of course, it's always work, because time is not on my side. I have to close early to come back home and sterilize her bottle, feed her, look for dinner, and then try as much as possible to sleep early. So that's just how my day is on a normal day.
Okay, so would you say that motherhood basically has like affected your productivity at work
Hmm.
compared to when you were doing mom?
Uh, Compared to when I was single, or okay, I want to compare mine to when I was pregnant.
Okay.
Yes. So I would say compared to when I was pregnant, honestly, I'm more productive because of course I have my body back. Pregnancy comes with a lot of stress. So, and I've been able to manage my time. I've been able to plan. And then I also have like a to-do list. Now, when I'm going to work on a Monday, I already have everything I want to do planned out. Now, I of course work in the sales department. So we usually have targets and all year to open like about 20 accounts in a month. So now what I do is I know that every day I should open at least 2 accounts. Now, if I should open 2 accounts in a day, in a week, I'm opening 10 accounts, right? And then in 2 weeks, I'm opening 20 accounts and I've met my target for that month. I know there are times that you have customers that maybe comes in for or call for one issue or the other. So maybe you might not be able to meet up with the targets you have for that day. But no matter how bad it is, because I have a to-do list, I always try as much as possible to at least meet my target for that this thing. So because I have time controlled, I'm able to be productive.
Okay, so what are some of the challenges you faced while balancing your life as a working mom?
The first one is sleep. God, I'm somebody that can sleep for like when I mean I can sleep for Africa before now. Like I love to sleep. I know that it's not something I'm supposed to say, but honestly, I love my sleep. But being a working mom hasn't been easy at all because you have somebody to cater for, right? You still have to take care of the family. My sister, there's no room for sleep. Oh. You can only sleep when you've virtually done basically everything, right? So sleep is the number one challenge. And there's this thing that everybody say, oh, sleep when the baby is sleeping, or most of the times it doesn't work. Why? Because when the baby is sleeping, it's not when sleep is catching you. Do you get? Okay, like now I try to bathe her as early as 8:30. Though she's a very wonderful child, so she doesn't disturb and she sleeps very well. So now once I bathe her 8:30, let's say finish feeding her, finish doing what I'm doing, let's say by 9:30, she's going to bed, she's sleeping. Now that 9:30, I'm not feeling sleepy, right? So I'm awake. And then sometimes she sleeps all through till the next morning. Sometimes she can decide to wake up like by 11 and then still till like probably 1 and then she sleeps off. So now you see, because I have to sleep, because I have a baby, like I cannot just meet up. So sleep is the number one thing for me, number one challenge for me. Then sleep and not getting enough rest, I'll classify it as the same category. So I barely have time for myself, and I'm always tired. I'll not lie. Like there are days where, see, like from Mondays to Wednesdays, right? There's this energy. Then Thursdays, and then worst of them all is Fridays. Like my body is already, I will not say shutting down, but like I'm exhausted. So I try to use the weekend to rest. So, but most of the time, sleep, not getting enough rest is the challenge. Being tired is a challenge for me.
Okay, so basically, you've talked about how you handle sleep deprivation and fatigue, like it being your major challenge, and
Yeah.
how you handle it. So,
Mm.
have you like experienced like in the workplace? Like I know for me, when I resumed work while I was nursing my first child, my son, I was expressing, I was doing like exclusive breastfeeding. And by the time I resumed, I still wanted to continue because I resumed before 6 months. So one of the major challenges I faced in the workplace was having like a conducive place to like express and also to store breast milk. So that was like my unique challenge when I resumed work. In your own case, have you experienced any specific workplace challenge with regards to this season of your life?
For me, I would say with my own is most of the times I just feel like if we probably have a crutch in our office, right? Of course, we're in the banking sector, right? Banking industry, and then you barely have time to let's say do other things, right? But I just feel like if we can have crutch, it can assist because you see a lot of nursing mothers, even in the office, they have the challenge of also where to keep their babies. Like when I started, I said the major challenge was where will I keep my baby? Where will she stay? Like, is it crèche? But if we had a crèche in my office, right, I won't be asking all those questions. But from my colleagues, everybody have been supportive. We have a conducive environment. It's just the crutch that is just the major challenge for us.
Okay, so currently, how are you now managing with like your child? Where do you get to keep your child while you're at work?
Okay, so my husband works from home.
Oh, okay,
So
that's really
because
good.
because he works from home, the arrangement is when I finish beating her in the morning, I do what I'm supposed to do. Then he continues from there, pending on when I get back. But of late, it doesn't be easy for him also because once he wants to start working, it's probably when she decides to wake up and then he has to stay with her, right? So most of
Yeah.
I yeah, I try to close early, but when you have a lot of things on your table, you want to round up with them before coming home.
Yeah.
But for now, it's just my husband, and then of course, whenever my siblings comes around or his sister comes around, and somebody can then stay with her. But for now, she's at home.
Okay, so basically for you, your major support is like support from family.
Yes, from family.
Okay, so you mentioned that other than not having a crutch in your office, your colleagues have been supportive. So in what way have you like gotten support from your workplace?
Oh, okay. So, whenever, like I mentioned earlier, that Mondays to Wednesdays, the energy is 100%, right? Then
Yeah.
Thursdays and worst of them all, Fridays is like 40, Fridays, probably 20%, right? So whenever they notice that oh, I'm beginning to burn out, what they do is they'll just be like, oh, there's actually a space there. Why don't you just go in and then relax yourself, rest your brain, if possible, take a nap, right? And then days whereby I don't really have much to do, they'll be like, I think you can maybe go home early today and then go and rest or something. So that's what they do.
Wow, that's really lovely. So what other practical tips will you suggest for working mothers that are seeking to balance their work with their journey of motherhood?
Okay, so first off, I would say it all starts from you, right? So they should first believe in themselves. I
Okay.
think one thing that helped me, I've never been a mother before, right? I don't know how to nurse a child before. I don't even know how to bathe a baby before. But because I believed in myself, like, do you know what? I've I have a baby. I have to adjust. I have to adapt, right? I had to first of all believe that I can do it. There are a lot of people that are out there. They'll be like, I'm pregnant. Like when you speak to pregnant women, some pregnant women, not all of course, they'll tell you, this one I'm giving birth to, I've never bathed a baby before, I've never done this before. My own case was, once the baby is like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, I don't like holding newborn babies because I just feel like they are slippery, like they can easily fall. But I gave birth, and then 2 days, in fact, that day I carried the baby, right? So first of all, start with believing in yourself, believing that you can do it. Then, of course, time is very key. Time is very key as a nursing working mom. Time is very key. And then there should be no room for procrastination. When you're single or when you're just a wife, there are certain things that you want to do. You could easily say you can leave them for later, you can keep them for later. But being a nursing mom, if you want to do something now, you just have to do it now. Once you have a to-do list, it goes a long way. You learn to plan. Now, when I mean having a to-do list, a lot of people will just wake up and then they'll tell you that, oh, they want to clean the house, they want to wash the clothes, they want to go out, they want to go to work and then close by 5 o'clock. Now, you have to allocate time to your to-do list. Now, I'll wake up by 4 o'clock, I'll do this by 5 o'clock, I'll do this by 6 o'clock, and then by 7 o'clock, I'll sleep. That's how you are meant to plan your day.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so there's this thing about mom guilt. I don't know if you ever experienced mom guilt when you had to resume work, like that initial period of having to be away from your child. You said your child was 2 months when you resumed work.
No, 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 she was 3.
Okay, 3 months.
Yes, 3 months.
Okay,
Yeah.
so when you had to be separated from her, how did you handle it?
I did though. Sometimes when I'm even leaving the house, like I'll come back and then look at her and be like, I'll go back. There are times I'll be like, I can actually like resign my job for this baby. It was that bad, right? So how I handled it was that I just knew that I needed to do it, right? And it's for the betterment of the baby too, betterment for everybody. So in a way, I just like I don't pay attention to that. Like I don't think about it. I don't Once I leave the house, I know that okay, I've left her with her dad. She's going to be fine. She's going to be okay. Very soon she's going to grow up and then that is it.
Okay. So to a new mother just like you who um basically is about to resume work from her maternity leave and she's a bit anxious, what will you say to such mother?
Okay. So what I like I earlier said before is for her to first believe in herself, right? She should just know that she can do it. It's nothing difficult. I was anxious too, in a way. I know my own case was that I'm this kind of person that don't believe in employing a house help, a housemaid, do you get? So like there was that anxiety of how will I do it? Or I have to come back from work, I have to do this. So you just have to first believe that you can do it. And then also believe that you're a very, very wonderful mom and that you're going to be a wonderful mom to your baby. Because at some point, I started doubting when I started leaving the house. I was like, am I going to do it right? Are you sure I'm going to be a great mom? Like we all had, like I had that feeling. And so far, so good. I've adjusted, I've adapted. So just believe that you can adjust. Just believe that with time, you can adapt.
Wow, that's so lovely, Nancy. So, as we draw this conversation to a close, when you reflect back, what's one thing that you wish you knew that would have helped you thrive better as a working mother of an infant?
First off is getting a help, right? Like I earlier said, I'm not somebody that's actually believe in getting help because we've heard stories of house help maltreating children, house help doing certain things. So I had that mentality. But the truth is we cannot do it all by ourselves. That's just the truth. We need maximum support. We need maximum help, assistance from everybody. So what I would have done better is probably while I was pregnant, I would have probably gotten somebody, maybe stayed with it for the person to stay. So I'll observe the person. Now it's even more difficult just bringing anybody just to come and stay to assist in taking care of the baby. But if I had done it while I was pregnant, I would have in a way observed the person. So the major thing is I would have actually just brought in somebody like a help beforehand.
Wow, thank you so much, Nancy, for sharing your experience and also for encouraging mothers out there. And just like Nancy has said, the journey of motherhood basically begins with believing in yourself. There's always that season of our lives as mothers where we second guess ourselves. Even when you've had a child and your child is a teenager, there are certain things you would experience that would basically make you begin to doubt yourself. But always remember that the fact that you birthed that child, you have what it takes to also raise that child and also pay attention to yourself in the process. So, Nancy, thank you for joining us today at the Women Lighthouse podcast, and we enjoyed the conversation with you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Women Lighthouse podcast. We really hope today's episode has given you some great tools, resources, and a boost of confidence to take charge of your journey. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. You can also follow us on our social media handle for even more tips and a wonderful community that's all about supporting your growth. Join us next time for more uplifting stories and encouraging insights. Until we meet again, keep shining bright, stay inspired, and embrace your unique path to a better tomorrow.